What's up, everybody? Ben Barrows, aka Random Crown, back for part 5 of the $11 Sunday Storm Hand History Review. We just doubled up last hand of the previous part. We had the King 9 sucked out against the Ace and the Jack to more than double our stack. If you don't remember that, I highly encourage you to go check out the previous part and any other part that you haven't seen so you're all caught up to speed. So now we got the pocket sixes under the Gucci, under the gun, for a little less than 12 blinds, about 11.5, and we just jam it in. Very standard play here with, the strong medium pair, and we ship the blinds. And we have King 3, we walk it out to a great start. And now we got Queen 10 here on the cutoff. With how many blinds is this? 14.5, and we just jam it all in because we cover the button and the small blind, and yeah, I mean BB covers us, but even when they get it in, any of them get it in, we will have decent enough equity. They'll be getting it in with pairs that we're flipping with, ace jack, ace king, that we have okay equity against. So we're happy getting it in here, especially because we block some hands that they could call with that are strong, like ace queen, tens, and ace 10, king queen, things like that. It's less likely they have them because of our queen 10 blocker. And whenever we ship what's in the middle, what is that, like 48k, nearly 50k, yeah, increase our stack by a pretty significant margin. About 1/6 of our stack in the middle there. So we're happy to just pick that up, and we do so. We just shippity dip the bleezies. I always love it when everyone folds to our effective all-ins. Makes chipping up nice and easy. Now let's see, we got suited, 10-4, fold, jack 10 now on the button. Folds to us, we just jam it in again. Same situation with the queen 10, we cover both those stacks. Jack 10 blocks good hands and has decent equity against whatever we're called with, and we just get it through. Yeah, it's fine to be shoving a little wider in these lower buy-in big field tournaments because people are not going to be calling correctly. So you could make the argument for shoving deuces here for that exact reason. We do cover a lot of stacks left to act. Yeah, the low jack, the high jack, the small blind. Yeah, it's a pretty hefty portion of the BB stack as well. But we have just been shoving, a couple times. We have, 16.5 blinds. It seems like a tad too much to be just getting in with deuces. We're not in that great a shape when called, just hoping to be flipping, so just let it go with some players left to act and a more comfortable stack to wait around with. Can, go through a few more orbits and just pick a better spot to go with. And jack, muck. Queen ace suited, very good equity hand on the button. Got 11.5 blinds, getting standard jam. Notice we do not raise half our stack now because we have a good value hand and we actually would prefer to get called. So when we raised half our stack earlier with like the queen 10, or in a previous video with like pocket 4s, we are preferring to just get it through, ship the blinds, discourage players left to act from getting in with their marginal value hands, like through weak aces, or like decent kings. But here we would prefer them to call with those hands, so we just jam rather than raise half our stack and make them raise on top of us, rather than just click call, which is a little easier to do with something like ace deuce off, or king 9 off or whatever. Whereas before maybe those hands fold, like we would prefer them to fold, but here we really want them to call because ace queen suited is just way ahead of all those. But they don't, we just ship the blinds. Still a fine result. It's ace two suited, it's just too early for us to jam. We have a little under 14 blinds and we only have one player covered. Yeah, just it's too many chips to shove there, and raising is out of the question. Don't want to be risking that much of our stack. And now we have threes. We should jam this. Nah, it's still a bit too early. With 13.5 blinds. Just a standard fold. Jacks, though, in the big blind. Folds around to the button. They min open. Yeah, super standard. Jam with 13 blinds. Just get it in there. And take down. Could not play that any other way. Hand is too vulnerable to flat or just do a regular size 3-bet because, you know, we don't want to give them the right odds to call in position. Still a lot of overcards to come out, ace, king, or queen. You know, never really excited about playing a bloated pot out of position when there's an overcard on the board, so just make it easy on ourselves. Just go all in pre, just like we do here with the king and the jack. We got an open limp here from the hijack, and we just, you know, effectively go all in on the button. Again, kind of like what we were just talking about with the ace queen. Now we have king jack and are, you know, content, you know, getting it in with any of these players. You know, gonna fare well enough against the ranges, but we're never gonna get it in with the best hand. So that's why we don't shove. We just raise most of our stack to get them to fold. Maybe like, excuse me, like yeah, like an ace 8 off type hand. You know, king queen even. You know, that may have just called had we just shipped it in, but now that we raised most of our stack and they actually have to click raise and to get it in, makes it a little psychologically more difficult to do so. So if we can ever get any of those hands that are better than us to fold that would have called if we shoved, then yeah, this is, you know, a great play. So we raise most of our stack and just take it down, shifty dip. Pretty significant increase there. Now we have ace 10 here in the middle of positions. What happened? Did we win another hand in between there? No? Yeah, what we had king jack, we won this. Yeah. Oh wait, so yeah, we had around 400k, and then when we ship this, how much do we have afterwards? Got about 480k, shippity dip. Yeah, increased our stack by nearly a quarter there. And yeah, now we have the ace and the 10. It's so interesting, it seems like it skipped a few hands, because obviously we had 480k or so there, now we have 580, so there's definitely a missing hand somewhere. It seems like they're out of order for whatever reason here and there. So we raise here in the low jack, get 3-bet by the button, and yeah, ace 10 is not good enough to go with. So we just muck rather than 4-bet or flat. Again, just not really getting the right price out of position. You know, they're going to be able to put us in too many tough spots post. We got reverse implied odds. You know, if they bank an ace, you know, if we bank an ace, you know, it still isn't necessarily the best hand. It could have ace jack, ace queen, ace king. So better to just cut our losses early and just fold to 3-bet. You know, even if we flop like top pair with a 10, they could have an overpair. So yeah, very easy fold. You know, it doesn't look like we really have much fold equity, you know, if we 4-bet ship it in. And, you know, even when we do, you know, and we're called, they have us in pretty tough shape. It's 3 here now. 6-10 suited now in the big blind. Folds to the button, the open limp, small blind calls. We check, we get a deuce 3-9 rainbow board, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. And we turn top pair, which is pretty good news. Small blind leads, we call, no real reason to raise there, only going to be looked up by better. So by calling, we just keep in, you know, their draws and worse pairs. Heads up now on the queen river. You know, they check, we just check back, no reason to value bet. You know, they could have a queen, they could have like jack queen or king queen, they bet the turn, and then just start checking top pair on the river. Yeah, they just had a pair of 3s, so I don't think we could have really played that any differently. Yeah, I think betting the river is still probably too thin because they still will have some better 10s that call as well. Ace 5 suited here, oh, we're under the gun, so yeah, it's too shallow to be raising there. Jack ace now here in the big blind. This is a pretty significant pot. Folds to the cutoff, they min open, and we're in the big blind you know, we have about 12 BB total, including the blind in the middle. So we easily just jam it in. You know, super standard shove spot against cutoff open. And they call, get 3-3 deuce 4, 9 run out, and we higgity hold against the ace and the 8 for a very healthy double. Yeah, this is the point in the tournament where we're starting to feel like we actually have a real chance at going all the way. You know, we're almost at 1 million chips. It's pretty significant. Ace 10 now. Under the gun +2. Got about 19 blinds, a bit too many chips to be open shoving, so we just raise, and the big blind jams in for, what, 16 blinds, so yeah, very easy fold. They're going to be going all in with mainly hands that are better than ours. King 7 suited here in small blind would be a jam if it folded to us, but under the gun. This one opens, so easily muck. King Queen here now on the button, similar to the King Jack hand on the button earlier. Get an open limp from, oh no, not quite similar, it's close though. There was an open limp with the King Jack and we jam over it, but here the cutoff min opens and we just effectively jam over top. Don't quite go all in, but we commit ourselves. You know, there's what, like we have a 16 blind stack, 600k, 15 blind stack, so yeah, perfect rejam stack size. You know, King Queen's a great hand to do it with. Like, they're going to be opening wide enough, and King Queen blocks, you know, some strong hands they could have. And yeah, even when they do get it in with us, yeah, we're going to have fine enough equity. Flipping against their pairs, you know, decent shape against like Ace Jack, Ace 10. We just take it down. Again, do the old not raise all in to make it harder for them to commit all their chips. Just raise most of our stack and let it go. So ship the dip. Just get a lot of nothing for a while. Now we have Ace Jack again. And we open Shippy Dip It under the gun +1 for 12.5 blinds, and we take it down. Shippity doo-dah. Ace 10 now in the big blind. Folds to the small, and they ship it in. And yeah, we easily call it off with our almost 15 blind stack. We flop trips and higgity hold against, or actually get there against the sixes. Ship that flip. That was a very significant one too. Over the 1 million mark. Shippity doo-dah, everyone. Ace is now in the small, and the button goes all in for less than a blind. We just min raise against the BB to try and, you know, get them to peel with a wide range of hands. You know, they're getting good odds in position over 4-1, so we want them to call with a lot of hands so we can just let them make like a weak top pair on the flop. Jack, Jack 4 rainbow, not the best flop for us. They could easily have trip jacks. That's why we just check, partly for pot control and again to induce from, you know, whatever worst they have. I mean, it's a little bit different of a spot than usual because the button's all in and the big blind will have to show down their hand to win the pot, so it's not like we're really going to be bluffing, or excuse me, inducing them to be bluffing ever. But yeah, I mean, like, part of why we check as well, I guess, is to let them catch up. You know, maybe they just don't have a piece of the flop. We don't want to, you know, bet them off their hand. But yeah, just let them pair up on the turn potentially, and then we just get some more chips out of them ideally. So like, yeah, that's what we're hoping here. They have a queen on the turn or some sort of straight draw. 'Cause, yeah, we don't want to check here and let them you know, potentially check back and realize equity on the river. Like, let's say they have like 10-8 or king-9. We do not want to let them see a free card and potentially make a straight. So now we just bet and we're willing to get it in. If they have a jack, so be it. But yeah, we just got to protect our equity now, and we just get them to fold or slightly less than half pot wager. And we are good against the 10 deuce suited, the Doyle Brunson from the button. Now we got kings, getting our card rack on, and we open on the low jack, and we just shove the blinds. It's fine. Better to win a small pot than lose a big one. Now we got ace jack under the gun +2. over 30 blinds, and whew, we end up ISOing this. I think maybe it's better to fold. Yeah, now that I'm really looking at the stacks, I think this is better as a fold. So under the gun +1 jams for 9 blinds, and we just figure they're gonna have enough worse aces and jacks, like ace 10, ace 9, some more suited aces, jack king, jack queen, jack 10, especially suited, jack 9 suited. All these hands make sense for them to go with, but I don't know if they're actually going with all those hands. But if they are, then our ISO is good. However, it's still worth considering that the button and the small blind have nearly the same stack as us. Like, we cover, but I mean, they have most of our chips. So if they wake up with a real hand, like jacks plus, ace queen plus, like, they're gonna call. I don't know if they necessarily call ace queen, but they could. And obviously it's not a great situation when they do. So we are risking most of our stack against those players, and we still have other players left to act as well. Like, we've got 6 players left to act, so one of them is going to wake up with a hand sometime, and then we lose a decent chunk of our stack, or at least have to gamble against them with our ace jack. So I think it's probably going to be better to let this go, but in game we just figured that they're shoving wide enough, so might as well ISO. And they were in fact ahead of us. I believe they have ace king. Yep, and they hold. So nice double pasa $1. But yeah, I think it's okay to ISO if they are shoving that wide, but at the same time, it's also definitely fine to fold because of the large stacks behind. And if we ever think that they are on the tighter side, then it's definitely a fold. Ace jack's just not in great shape against that range. And because it's the Storm, it's a big field, low buy-in tournament, people do tend to be tighter, with their early position shoves, even though they do have less than 10 blinds and should be shoving wider. Sometimes they just aren't. They're just gonna be, again, just way tighter than one would generally expect there. So yeah, I think that's a fold with the ace jack. But can't play perfectly every hand. Now we got jack 9 suited under the gun +1. We open. Big blind defense. We flop 2 pair on the ace jack 9 board. Super standard c-bet. I think we need to go bigger. We don't really want to give them good odds to get there with a straight or a flush. I mean, a flush draw is always calling, but we don't want them to be calling with gut shots here. Like 10-7, like king 10, king queen. I mean, we kind of do, but at the same time, there's just so many bad turns. Like, it's gonna be difficult to play on several of them. Yeah, I don't really see like an 8, 10, king or queen, especially an ace that counterfeits us. So yeah, I think we need to bet bigger here. I think we need to go maybe like half pot, because our hand's kind of vulnerable. But at the same time, we were going for the induce, hoping that maybe they could just bluff raise us. They do have us covered by about double, so maybe they just have like some like no equity hand, or maybe they do just have like queen 8, some sort of gut shot, and they're just gonna like raise us, make it like 300k or something, put the pressure on us, which is jam over top. That's what we were going for with our under bet, the 9-9-9-9-9. Just try and make it look like we're just bluffy or willing to bet fold. Maybe we have kings or queens. Just betting. We don't want to see like a diamond or sort of, we just don't want to give them a free card. But we will fold the actions is what we're repping. But it looks like they just don't have anything and they just muck. So fine result. But yeah, I think we need to go a little bigger on the flop. But I think it's fine too. I mean, that was like, it's like a third pot. I mean, that's reasonable. It's a standard c-bet size. But with 2 pair on a pretty dry board, I don't mind going a little bigger. Now I got 8s here in the big blind, facing this under the gun jam for like 8 blinds. And yeah, super standard call with pocket 8's a very strong hand. Gonna be ahead of a lot of pairs that they're shoving with, and indeed they had 4s, and we hold against the sailboats by turning a snowman party. Shippity doo-dah. Queen 7 here in the small blind. Yeah, just fold against this jam and rejam. So deuce, yeah, obviously fold. King 10. Looks like someone else opened, so get out of the way. Queens now. Oh, this is a fun one. Alright, so we open under the gun +1 and folds to the big blind. They defend. We get a queen 9-8 rainbow board, so we flop top set. And we're going for the underbet here again. trying to bet like 98k, and I misclick. See, I meant to bet 98,752, and somehow ended up putting an 8 on the end, or maybe yes, some sort of like 98,000, yeah, like 758, and I clicked the 2 before I clicked the 8 or something. Anyway, so I added an extra digit, made it 10 times the amount that I meant to bet. We bet like 3x pot, which looks ridiculous. Like, what are we doing this with in their eyes? And they tank for a long time, and they end up just getting it in with top pair, top kicker, which is a pretty ridiculous cooler. They have the case queen, and they happen to have an ace to go along with it, which is a pretty great board for them. But, you know, they're in horrible shape against top set there, like basically drawing dead. They needed big running aces to suck out. I mean, they almost got there. They had a 10 on the turn, so if we had a jack on the river, we'd have chopped it up. But basically, this was just a very fortunate hand for us because, you know, we meant to bet way smaller, and had we bet the amount we intended, they probably just check call the flop, and then we get this 10 on the turn, gives us 4 to, puts that 4 to a straight on board, and then it would go check check because we do not want to bet, you know, when they really could have a jack for a straight there. And then we would have gotten, you know, the river, you know, a blank, and they probably would have checked, and we either would have checked or, you know, gone for the thin value. I mean, it's not even that thin. Once they check the river, you know, probably don't have a straight. But I don't really think it's that great of a value bet either, because I don't really see a lot of worse hands calling. Like, ace queen may call, but like at the same time, they're still going to think that we have a jack a lot. I don't know. I mean, I guess like they would probably anticipate us on, like, yeah, expect us to just bet the turn with the jack because there is a turn flush draw, but I think they'll expect us to check it sometimes as well. Regardless, you know, we end up, yeah, just winning a massive pot here just because of a stroke of good fortune. Yeah, we just happen to have a nice cooler situation, top pair, top kicker versus our top set, and we overbet the pot massive, and they just happen to go with it. So yeah, this is a fantastic hand, actually. Now we have over 4 million chips at 30k, 60k, over 60 blinds. So that's when it really starts to set in that, you know, like, we could really win this. And now, under the gun, we open with the 8s and take it down. Yeah, super standard. And yeah, this was a fun tournament. Yeah, I was actually going on like no sleep at all for this. I got up previous day. Yeah, it's a Sunday, obviously. So Saturday morning, I wake up pretty early. I go for a run with my friend, just around town. Go to the boardwalk. I think we played some hacky sack as well. And then I ended up coming back home. Ended up, I think I got a new key that day. Yeah, we had lost one of our keys and needed to get a copy, so I went to the store and got a copy made. And going to my friend's place, played some chess. Got me in like a really GTO mindset. Ended up going to a local cafe, my favorite one. They have these awesome acai bowls. Just have like a lot of cool fruits and coconuts, like honey and granola. It's deliciousness in a bowl, happiness in a bowl. That's how I described it on Instagram the other day. And I started to write my blog there. I was just giving an update on, you know, how the shippy dipping had been going, you know, how my time with stakings, you know, had been going thus far, you know, just talking about, yeah, just the random updates, what had been going on here in the household, the Crown Box, and ended up, you know, staying up all night to finish it, and yeah, I did some qigong, you know, some they're yogic exercises. They're called, they're in the category of cultivation practices, qigong and Fulun Dafa, which is actually like a kind of like what qigong is based on. Basically, a bunch of like, you know, spiritual movements that center your energy and your chi, you know, get you, yeah, much more balanced. So I did a lot of that leading up to playing this tournament. Yeah, I mean, like, I sold action on stakings and you know, played a bunch of other tournaments that they actually went really deep in the marathon and cashed the big 109, and yeah, I was just playing pretty well overall, and then just, you know, happened to, yeah, just build a stack in this. This is the last one of the day, and you know, ended up taking it nearly all the way. But yeah, like, and again, so I stayed up all night doing that. So I was like on no sleep, and you know, just ended up, yeah, just being that much more in the zone because of it. I feel like, yeah, like several other deep runs I've had in the past, I've just been up all night. The previous night, or you know, I'm just like up all night playing poker. Like I get into that meditative state, you know, like that state of flow. You know, I'm just like so immersed in whatever activity I'm doing. But I mean, especially, you know, when playing poker, like just think on another level. I just become the game. It's awesome. You just get so much more in tune with, you know, the player's tendencies. You know, like what is truly optimal, like what you would be doing if you won the tournament. It's awesome, dude. It's what I live for. It's what I play for. You know, like it's what poker's all about to me. Just getting into that zone and just knowing you're playing your best. I mean, obviously I didn't play all the hands here optimally, but at the same time, like, I was in the state of knowing that I was, you know, really winning this tournament. I was going all the way. Like, you just, once you get in that mindset, once you were just, you know, shippity dipping like that, dude, like, that's what it's all about. So now we have King Queen suited here, under the gun +2. We open it up. And get flatted from the hijack. Get a deuce 7 8 2 club board. We just completely miss. No diamonds out there. No backdoor flush draw. So we just check fold. Yeah. Could see bet, but I don't think it's best. I think it's fine to just let it go there. If we had a backdoor flush draw, we could barrel and just bet and then barrel any diamond turn. Ace deuce suited, super standard defend here against this under the gun open, and yeah, very standard fold. We missed the flop. King 9 here now on button. Folds to us, we open it up and shift the blinds. Jack 10 here. Yeah, I mean, we got a pretty healthy stack. We got, you know, around 40 blinds. So that's why we open this up from middle position when it's generally a fold. Yeah, I mean, since we cover everyone, I think it's fine to put the pressure on. Seven six is to defend. Yeah, folds to the button. They, yeah, a little more than min open. We definitely call here. They're equity in the BB. Missed the board though, so just super standard fold to the C bet. 8-10 now for us on the button. And we open it up. And again, ship them bleezies. Ace 6 suited to be open this from under the gun +2. Nope, because under the gun +1 opens. And otherwise, I think it would be a good open, since we do cover everyone and are fine against, you know, the BB stack in terms of getting it in. Yeah, just mark it. Do not want to mess with the big stack of the table. Now I got 9s. Under the gun +1. Yeah, it's a very standard open. And we do so and ship the blinds. Ace 9 off now and big blind. The Nurgler jams and it's a very easy call. King 3 4 deuce 9 board. We got second pair top kicker, but no bueno against their top set shifty dip at the Nurgler. Yeah. King 3 suited now on the button. Fold against Dave Gillies open. Aces now on the cutoff. Easy open. And big blind calls. We get a 5-3-5, 2 heart board. We check it back. No heart in our hand, but we figure they're only going to have flush draws so much. And whenever we check back, it looks like we have ace high. Yeah, maybe even like strong king high. So we expect them to bluff the turn some of the time, and we want to give them that opportunity to do so. 3 is great, double pairs to the board. So they bet, we easily call, we get a king in the river, and they bet again. And no real reason to raise, so we just call. Because if they have nothing, they can't call, and we don't want to give them the opportunity to raise over top. You know, it would be horrible if we raised and then had to fold to a re-raise if they have like a 5. So yeah, they just hit queen jack, just nothing. If we had c-bet the flop, they likely fold. I mean, it's possible they would have called with 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw. maybe, you know, planning on floating and taking it away later, which actually would have put us in kind of a tough spot because, you know, they could have easily hit a 5 or a 3, and we probably would not have leveled ourselves into folding because there's still obviously all the missed flush and straight draws, but we wouldn't have felt as comfortable calling it off like we did here because, you know, we were going for the induce, and so, you know, check back the flop, call down turn river, and boom. They have nothing. Voila. Ship the cheddar. And we fold again for a little while, waiting for that magic hand. It's Jack 8 suited. Yeah, definitely worth opening. It folds to the big blind. And we get a Queen D6 diamond board. Yeah, worth c-betting, so we do. But they call, and we shut down because we have absolutely nothing on this board. So yeah, just check it to the river. And they lead, so yeah, easy fold. King Queen now, under the gun. We open it up. And yeah, interesting spot here. Small blind 3-bets. We are in position and we're getting a really good price. Let's see exactly what that is. I mean, it's like a 2x 3-bet. Yeah, we're getting 3.5 to 1. Just gotta win this like 4.5 times to break even. But I think when they choose this size out of position, it's very nutted. I feel like they're gonna have aces and kings here a lot of the time. I feel like queens, jacks, an ace king, all 3-bet larger. So yeah, when we're facing just a 2x 3-bet, dude, it's just so strong that even when we call and pair a king or queen, I don't think it's the best hand a lot. So I think, yeah, there's just too many reverse implied odds that come along with this hand that negate the great direct odds that we're getting. So that's why we fold. And king 10 here on the cutoff. Facing us under the gun, open limp. We decide to just fold because if we over limp, the button has a great jam spot, so we do not want to give them an opportunity and have to fold out our hand and give away free chips. Queen, jack. Seems like it's a little too early for us to open. Yeah, again, +1. 26 blinds, don't think so. 10-5 now, and the big blind. Folds to the button, they open, and we defend. And flop 2 pair. Yeah, button's gonna be opening wide now. 10-5 is decent enough equity. You know, can check call the flop whenever we make a pair. You know, expect it to be good often enough. But yeah, we just call flop 2 pair, and they check back, and we just bet the turn and take it down. It's fine. A lot of bad rivers. Don't see 4, deuce, spade, you know, king, queen, jack. Yeah, 5-10's kind of vulnerable, but you know, very likely the best hand now, so we want to bet it hard. Yeah, just to get value and protection. Take it down, fine result. 9's now here on the button. Hijack opens. Wow, and the cutoff jams. Oh, this is an interesting spot. Yeah, they jam 40 blinds effective, because that's what about the hijack has, like a little more than that, so I mean, 9s could be good here, but I think that they're going to be jamming better sometimes. Yeah, definitely 10s, jacks, queens. Ace, king is what we're flipping against. That's basically what we're hoping for. Are they really jamming 8s is the question. I don't think so for 40 blinds. I think that's too many chips. They're not going to risk like more than half their stack. It's the 8s, it's an unnecessary jam. So yeah, we're just hoping they have ace, king, and we're flipping, otherwise we're crushed, so I think it's pretty easy fold. Especially considering there's still the original razor left to act. And a couple players behind. Jack, queen here now. On low jack, we open it up. This is like the earliest position we'll raise jack, queen. Even then, I think it's okay to fold, but now that we have a little more chips than we did before. We had 26 blinds before when we fold jack, queen, like under the gun +1, but now we have a little under 30 blinds, so it's a little more reasonable, a little more room to work with. It's fine, just open it up. Yes, since we cover everyone, that's the factor. Okay, and shift once. Now we got tens. Facing us under the gun open. And we call on gun plus 2. This is an interesting spot. Yeah, this is a spot where you could jam. I mean, we have, what, like a little less than 25 blinds, like around 23. So we're facing this under the gun open from around the same stack, a little less than that. Maybe they have like 22 blinds. So when they open under the gun, excuse me, on a 22 blind stack, I mean, they're gonna have a strong hand, like, you know, on average. Like, they're gonna have some more strong hands than tens, like nines or eights, maybe sevens, maybe sixes probably folds, but I could see sevens opening there for sure. And then obviously some overs: ace jack, ace queen, ace king, ace 10, maybe jack 10 suited, 9-10 suited potentially, yeah, like some suited broadways, ace 9 suited for sure. But again, like when we jam, we don't really get called by any worse hand. I feel like nines still folds correctly because they're not really ahead of much. So I think when we jam, we only get looked up by jacks plus and ace king. Yeah, ace queen I think probably folds as well. So yeah, against jacks plus and ace king, tens is not faring too well. So that's why we do not want to jam here. But tens is still ahead of enough of their opening range that it's too weak to fold, so we just want to call. And big blind comes along as well. Three-way action on the ace jack 6 rainbow board, and super standard fold of the c-bet with 2 overs out there. Makes it easy to play. Fives now here on button. And we got a hijack and open. We could ship it over, but again, looks like they're kind of strong. They could just be jamming on that stack size, but they're still raising, so it looks like maybe they're trying to induce. And we do not, want to fall into their trap. So we just fold here. Again, like when we jam, we're hoping to be looked up by only overs. It's not like fours, threes, or deuces ever calls. So yeah, I mean, hoping that they have ace king or ace queen. And if they had ace king or ace queen, they probably just open jam on this stack size. So it looks like when they raise here, they're just going to have bigger pairs. I mean, maybe they have ace king or ace queen sometimes, but I think they're going to be more weighted towards big pairs like nines plus, tens plus. Even nines or tens may easily just open jam. They could have jacks plus here, just hoping someone behind ships it and they can snap them off. So, like, having said that, like, fives is in pretty bad shape against that range. Like, we're crushed. It's basically just all over pairs. So, yeah, like, having said that, it's super standard fold. The only reason we could be jamming it in here is if we really think that they have a light enough opening range. Like, they're opening ace 5 suited, they're opening jack 9 suited. Like, if they're just going to be, raising, plenty of hands that they're, willing to fold. And if that's the case, then jamming fives here is totally fine, but it's just very dependent on that player's tendencies. And since we're pretty deep in the storm, we're at the final few tables now. We just don't really expect people to be playing that loose when there's a lot of money on the line, and they generally, are not used to playing for that kind of dough. So that's why we just fold here. And they shift the blinds. Nice hand. Ace 9 suited now. On hijack, I'm gonna open, so we fold. Fives now in the small blind, a little different situation. Folds to us, we just jam it in for about 10 blinds, blind versus blind. Pretty nutted spot, and we just take it down. Shippy dip. Ace king now on the button. Cutoff opens, and we easily jam. Happy getting it in there. They'll be, I mean, again, you'd expect them to be shipping it in with ace queen or ace jack, but some players still decide to just raise call those hands. And it looks like, they just have a raise folding range with their 14 blind-ish stack. who knows exactly what's in that range, but yeah, some players do just like raise fold, jack, queen, you know, yeah, maybe like some players raise fold like pocket threes there, you know, like when you obviously should be jamming it, but who knows, yeah, whatever, like they raise folded against us. It's a great result, so we ship a decent pot, stacking up, no showdown, it's the dream. Now we got the pocket trees, and folds to us here on the hijack. We jam 15 blinds, and again do the old raise half our stack thing, but we finally get called by someone, and thankfully we just flop a set for minimal sweat. I mean, they did turn flush draw, but thankfully we held. We just double up with the treesies, make it nice and easies. So now we got a pretty decent amount of cheesies to work with, like right under 30 bleezies. So on that note, we are gonna call this the end of part 5, and we will be back with part 6, which will carry us on to the final table. Da-da-da, da-da-da. So yeah, hope to see you then. Until then, shippity dip out.